Okay, everyone, I think we can get started. So hello, everyone, and thanks for joining today's inaugural Tempus Nova Tip Time. I'm Paul Ball. I am with Tempus Nova. We've been a Google partner since 2008, and I've been with the company since 2009. So it means we've done a lot of projects over the years, and I've gotten to be a part of a lot of those projects and kind of watch the ecosystem evolve over a little bit over a decade. So as the Google Cloud product suite continues to grow with more services and features constantly being released, we thought it'd be a great time for us to begin a weekly webinar series. We're going to cover various topics each week, and it'll include G Suite, Google Chrome, and the Google Cloud platform. I promise you the sessions will be short and sweet. We really appreciate you guys taking a little bit of time out of your day to join. So we want to make sure that they are worth your while, beneficial, and don't take up too much time. It'll be about 10 to 15 minutes to cover maybe one, maybe two topics that we think will be beneficial for you to learn about. And each week we'll have a description so you can decide if it's something that could be interesting to you, or potentially you could share with one of your coworkers. They may want to join as well. We figured that now that Gary's got over 500,000 views on our YouTube training channel, we thought it'd be the perfect time to see if those folks that follow him would also be interested in learning about some other Google products. Of course, many of you are G Suite administrators, evangelists, training coordinators. Some of you remember us from when we did the deployment, so we would love to have your feedback on how useful these webinars are to you and your organization. So I think with that, I'm happy to turn it over to Gary. And Gary will cover today's topic. Thanks, everyone.
Hello everyone, my name is Gary Wegner and I am otherwise known as Gary the Google Guy. So with that, I'd like to just introduce what we're going to talk about today, and that is going to be dealing with Smart Compose, nudges, and snooze features that have been fairly newly added to Google Mail, and we'll just kind of give you the heads up on what you can and cannot do with those, because a lot of times some of these features are turned on and you never realize it until all of a sudden something pops up on your screen and you notice that little bit of a change. So with that, from our screen in the upper right hand corner, the first thing we want to do is make sure that these things are enabled, and most of them are going to be turned on by default, but let's just double check. You're going to go into your gear icon and into the settings menu. And the couple of settings that we're going to look at are going to be in that first page of general settings, and we're just going to scroll down a little bit. And one of the things that you're going to see is going to be Smart Compose. And then right below that, newly added as of last week, is Smart Compose Personalization. You're going to want to make sure that both of those are selected as on if you choose to use this feature. But you also have the option of being able to opt out and turn those off if you'd rather not participate. It uses Google's AI, or artificial intelligence, to predict what you're working with in terms of your text. And if you only have the basic Smart Compose feature, this first one, turned on, and the second one, the personalization piece below, turned off, it is going to generalize by common statements that are made by anyone and everyone. If you use the Smart Compose personalization piece, it actually uses Google's AI and will personalize to your writing style and those phrases that you personally use the most often. So it actually learns that text in those sentences that you're typing out and creating. And then with a simple click of a right click of a arrow button, a space bar, tab bar, you will see that sentence automatically be finished for you, saving yourself a little bit of time. While we're here, another piece that you're going to want to look at that is on by default is just below this. In a couple of places here, we're going to see nudges. Now, nudges is going to give you a little bit of a prompt for certain emails that you will receive, replying to those certain emails, or following up, those types of things. And it uses Google's AI once again as a predictory factor of something that you may have forgotten to respond to, or that you might need to follow up because of the verbiage that's used in those emails. And I'll show you a little bit of an example of that. So just wanted to give you the heads up that you do have the ability to turn those on and off as you need to. Now for snooze, you may or may not see that just because of certain other settings that you may have turned on. I know when it was first introduced, if you had certain settings like your conversation view, which is just above where we're at, if you have conversation view turned off, you will not see snooze. I don't know if that is 100% still accurate. Sometimes they change things on the fly without letting us know that they have changed that. But when I know when Snooze first came out, that it was not available to those that had conversation view turned off or disabled. So just kind of heads up if you don't see that icon or menu item. So let's get back to the inbox and let's show you how a couple of these things are going to work. First off, let's go to a compose box, and I'm just going to jump right into the body of the email, and we'll just use some common verbiage like what day of the week do you want to meet? And then if I'm commonly responding to things, it will automatically finish those sentences. So let's see, what's another phrase that we commonly use? And you'll see just as I've gotten to this and started typing TH, IS and then week has automatically been prompted to finish off for me. Now, if I want to accept the rest of that sentence, I can use my tab button or arrow button, and it automatically zips to the end of that sentence so that I can pick up the next thing I want to say. Now, this is also going to work in your responses. So I've got an email here, and I'm going to go to reply. And you'll see that it works in your replies as well. So I don't have too much verbiage that I use within my training domain that we're in right now, so it will pick up on certain things like that if you use that personalization piece. So that is one piece that you may want to utilize, and if you don't want to use it, you can turn that off. So the next thing that we want to show you how to use, and I'm just going to discard that draft and come back out, is going to be the snooze feature. Now, snooze is fairly new, and you can kind of think of it as an email reminder. So I had this email at the top of my screen, and Gary's asking me, hey, we need to talk about this project. Should we meet sometime? And I can read what's in it and work with it here, or if I have already read it, I can come back to it from here in the main inbox view. So either way, what we're looking for is all the way over to the right, and it's a clock item called the snooze feature. If I go into the email, you'll see the snooze button up at the very top. What this is going to do is it's going to allow me to put this email aside from my inbox and schedule it to pop back up at the top of my inbox whenever I wish. So I don't have time to do this meeting scheduling right now. I'm in the middle of a training. So we're going to click on that snooze button, and you'll see it will give me some quick picks of later today, tomorrow, this week, this weekend, next week, or what most people are using from what I've found is the pick a date and time. So we'll click on that and we'll say, you know what, I need to get this today, and we're going to pick what we want. So let's say we do 2:12 p.m. So we'll just make it for 2 minutes more than what we are right now, and then I'll click on save. So literally it has disappeared from my inbox view, and it's going to pop back up at the top of my inbox view even if I had received other emails in 2 minutes. Now if I look to the left of my screen, I will see a snoozed label. If I want to see everything that is snoozed and I've got time, my meeting ended early, I can go to my snoozed label, see all of those emails that are snoozed. I can click on them. In the upper right corner, I can unsnooze them and start working with them right away. Now, another thing that you'll see in our screen about 4 emails down, and I'll just highlight that, is over to the right side of that email, you'll see it says snoozed 3 weeks ago. Now, it's kind of got that orange gold type of text, and it lets me know when I snoozed it, and maybe I've already dealt with it, but I left it in my inbox for some reason. Now, to piggyback on this, this is also where you're going to see those notifications for nudges. Now, I don't have an example to show you because I don't interact with myself in this account. However, I do have a couple of things planned for next week when they come in, but it will give you an idea of where it says snooze 3 weeks ago. It will say follow up or you reply to, and it will kind of give you that prompt of you received this 3 days ago. Do you want to reply to it or did you forget? That kind of a thing. But once again, nudges is something else that you can turn off if you wish to do that. So it is something fairly easy to use, and you'll see all of a sudden at the very top of my email now, that one that we snoozed just a couple minutes ago has popped back up, allowing me to see that, hey, I need to take care of that. Now I can come into that email and I can start working with the email like I just received it a couple of minutes ago. So Smart Compose you can utilize as needed. Turn it on and off if you wish. Nudges, you'll see those prompts if you want Google AI to kind of scan the body of the email just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. You'll see to the right side where mine says snooze 3 weeks ago, it would say follow up, you received this 2 days ago, or something of that nature. And then there is the snooze feature as we have just demonstrated here as well. Now, since you are all such good people, I'm going to give you a bonus tip here, and this is another piece that has been brand new added, and that is the delay send or schedule sending of emails. So with this, I have my recipient that I need to add in here, and we'll just add Gary's name. You do have to add a recipient for this to work, FYI. Your subject line you can leave blank if you need to, but down at the bottom of the screen where the send button is, you should notice a new button just to the right of that that has a little arrow to it. This is going to allow us to maybe replace certain third-party extensions that you may have been using. Boomerang is probably the most prevalent, but that allowed you to schedule when you wanted to send this email off. So I can now click on Schedule Send, Quick Picks, or I can pick a date and time. And let's say I want to do this, let's say later today, and how about we send this one off at 4 p.m. Type in what I want, schedule the send. It looks like it's being sent. It is scheduled. If I look to the left of my screen, I have a couple that are now scheduled under the scheduled label. Another new piece that you may have noticed that have popped up recently in that left side. We can click on scheduled and I can see I've got a couple emails that I've got scheduled to go out. One is at 3 p.m. today, one is at 4 p.m. today. You can always go back to any of those. In the upper right corner of that email, you can cancel the send and you can send that off, add to it, modify it, and then either reschedule it or send it right now. So just a bonus tip for you there since you have all attended today. But that is what I have for you today. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. So once again, we have Smart Compose, Nudges, and Snooze all have the ability to be turned on and off. The schedule sending should automatically be added if that is turned on at the domain level for you, and then you should see that label to the left there. But also keep in mind, if you don't want to use that or see it, you can remove that label by going to your Labels tab and clicking on Hide. So with that, everyone, my name is Gary Wegner, otherwise known as Gary the Google Guy, and I am thankful that you have attended today, but I am going to turn it back over to Paul for the conclusion of our webinar.
Gary, that was 14 and a half minutes. That was perfect. Thank you very much. And thanks to everyone for joining. We hope that you found today's session helpful. Feel free to join us on, feel free to subscribe on YouTube, check out our website. If you check out the YouTube channel, you'll notice that Gary the Google Guy creates a 2 to 3 minute video snippet whenever end user features are released. So feel free to follow him on that as well to stay current. You guys will be getting a video, so please give us your feedback so we can make these sessions worth your time. Thank you very much, and we will see you next week.